Good morning. It is 7:30 straight up right here on News 6 Plus. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison. Happy Pie Day, March 14th, 2024. We've been talking about it all morning, all sorts of pies. And as you step out this morning, maybe you could let the pie cool off a little bit out there, but not for long. Meteorologist Candace Campos has more on how you can warm up that slice of pie later today.
Oh my God, Bridgett, it's going to be a warm day across Central Florida. I mean, right now we're starting off in the 50s and 60s. Tomorrow morning, when we're talking again, Friday morning, we're going to have less 50s and a lot more 60s. So we're going to continue to see the warming trend continue pretty steady, highs and lows for the next couple of days. So today we're in the mid 80s. Tomorrow will be more in those mid to upper 80s. And then we'll be nearing 90 as we head into your St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. So let's take it to the map, show you what you can expect as you're running out the door this morning, whether you're on spring break and you have, the morning off or you're heading to work and school. Temperatures right now are in the mid 60s, about 64 degrees there in areas of Orlando. It looks like 58 in DeLand, Titusville at 64 degrees. Now, there's your pie. It's not really a pie, it's a cake. It's the best pie I could find for a background like this, but it is Pie Day 3.14. It's March 14th. Temperatures are going to be feeling more like May. We're almost in those mid 80s throughout the afternoon. The breeze will be light. We're still looking mostly dry. Here's a quick look at your St. Patrick's Day forecast. Looking at some of the records that we could potentially be nearing. It looks like Sanford and Leesburg will be the two areas that will be the closest to record-breaking temperatures, as the records are about 88, 89, and that's exactly where we're expecting to go. So it could technically be the hottest St. Patrick's Day on record in a couple of spots across Central Florida. So let's show you what's going on. So we have big ridge of high pressure. It's still going to be in control for the next few days, but then it will finally start to break down and nudge its way further south, making way for this next front to approach Central Florida come Monday afternoon, bringing with it some scattered showers. Now, once that front clears, it's going to be a beautiful setup for Tuesday and Wednesday, which also happens to be the first day of spring. So spring officially begins on Tuesday. Temperatures, for instance, in Orlando will be in the low 70s. We could have a couple areas that will be staying in the 60s the majority of the day on Tuesday. So we'll go from feeling like 90 down to upper 60s between St. Patrick's Day and the first day of spring. So the roller coaster temperatures continues. We're going to be climbing each and every afternoon, Bridgett, through St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. Your best shot for rain, at least for the next 7 days, will come on Monday. Rain coverage will be up to about 50%. Then we bring in spring a little late in the day on Tuesday, but nevertheless, spring officially begins on Tuesday. Highs for both Tuesday and Wednesday will be staying below average. Our average for this time of the year is about 78 degrees. So we'll be going well above that and then well below that, depending on what week you're looking at. But I know a lot of kids are on spring break next week. So just plan accordingly. It might be a little bit cooler than a typical spring break here in Central Florida.
Now, mine wanted to wear green today because I guess, they're out tomorrow, and so and St. Patrick's Day falls over the weekend, so we were looking for I tried to explain, as long as you have some green, it doesn't have to be solid green. You won't get
it doesn't have to be a solid green shirt. Yes,
right. What about yours?
I didn't realize that I don't buy a lot of green.
Yeah,
because my kids were asking the same thing, and I was like, yeah, sure, you should have green somewhere. And they didn't.
I actually I went through my closet and discovered that green is actually one of my favorite colors. And I didn't know that.
I should give you all my green dresses and stuff because I can't wear them anymore. I used to wear them for when we used to do News 6 at 9 because I did a lot of weather wall and,
May
weather center stuff.
Peace. Yes.
We love our 9. Someone actually just asked me about that. It's like, I miss it. I'm like, oh, we miss it too.
This kind of gives us a little, a little taste of it right here.
It really does. So, but yeah, you do look good in green. I have to admit.
Thank you. Well, we will, we'll do the best we can with, trying to keep those pinches away over the weekend, but maybe
make sure the leprechaun doesn't mess stuff up.
Right, but no sweaters because it's going to be hot, like you said.
Yeah, it's gonna be shorts and t-shirt staying hydrated along with the green beer,
Mm-hmm.
green water, making sure that you're staying hydrated this weekend.
All right. Well, that looks good. That looks good, Candace. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Well, we want to check in with Steve. He is out in results one, and the traffic, I don't remember where we left off at 7. How are you doing, Steve?
Traffic's not that bad today. We had a few spotty things that photojournalist Goose was showing us with that
Mm-hmm.
shutdown off of Rio Grande with that house fire. We know, residential areas, if there's an emergency response, we need to put those trucks somewhere. So unfortunately, that was closed for a little bit, but we are back open. And I know that because photojournalist Goose is about 10 feet off to my left right now. So hold on. You going to
Oh,
say
hey,
hi? There
Goose.
he is. There he is. So the roadway out there is open. It's an average day out there. It's not great. It's not too bad. We can jump
Okay.
right to dot cam if you'd like.
Sure.
Downtown Orlando, looking pretty good. 408 I-4, your ramp's pretty much up to speed. You can see things moving good. Kind of a bad angle there. But your drive times, lower than they were yesterday at this hour. So 28 minutes, Osceola Parkway to Colonial, 24 from Lake Mary to Colonial. And it's that slowdown right there at Lake Mary Boulevard. You can still see a little slowdown out there at Rio Grande, but the roadway is open. Fire rescue still kind of hanging out, but be careful. Silver Star is the busy area this morning. So we have got about 3 or 4 different crashes out there. Good Homes has been cleared out. And then you have another one at Hiawassee and just west of Hiawassee. So keep in mind, a lot of kids headed to school out there. Be cautious. Sun Life Path at Florida Mall. We're not going to pay too much attention to this one. Why? Because it's on Florida Mall property and it's not going to slow you down. Outside of that, DOT cam up in Volusia, clear skies, clear roadways. I-4 at the 118 puts us at State Road 44. Nice and clear. That crash just east of there, not going to slow you down at Sunday Trail if you live in DeLand. The rest of us, 417 and the Florida Turnpike running good. Lake County, Marion, everybody else behaving very nicely, to include Claremont, Bridgett. So as long as people are just paying attention to these construction zones, we can begin to avoid a lot of these unnecessary crashes. Overnight, you'll see those westbound delays again and eastbound out by the attractions. Yeah, mix that with the morning commute and construction, it puts those drive times up.
So, what are you up to today?
So today's kind of a cool day, a little bittersweet for me because I was planning on going to an event on Saturday. Unfortunately, I cannot attend that event, but it's Hot Rod for Heroes, and it's a huge car show taking place at the Oviedo Mall on Saturday, all to benefit the Honor Flight. Now, a little secret. Myself and photojournalist Goose are going to be going on a big mission with Honor Flight next month and flying to DC, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh,
But
wow.
Hot Rods for Heroes raises funds for our veterans to make this trip. And it's going to be a really good time. So if you're looking for something to do on Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, that's an all-day event, and it's good for the kids, the adults. They've got food trucks, there's restaurants out there, and plenty of awesome cars. So I'm going to be welcoming 2 guests today over into the truck at 8:30, I believe, here over at clickorlando.com.
Can you tell me a little bit more about honor flights?
So Honor Flight is it's so powerful because you're talking World War II veterans. And I'll be as clear as I can. We're running out of our World War II veterans. As life goes on, our veterans are getting older, and we still need to honor them. So this gives them an opportunity to go see the monuments that really represent our World War II veterans. And it's all paid expenses. They fly here out of Orlando area. They fly to DC. They get the red carpet treatment to every monument by local law enforcement. And they get to really remember their brothers and sisters that were lost in the conflict. And everything's taken care of for them. We all board the plane again in the evening, and we come right back home. And this happens every year, Bridgett. It's really
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah, that's really great. That's really great. So Hot Rods for Heroes coming up Saturday. So you're going to go out there and preview it today. So they must have, they're setting up.
They are getting ready to set up. We're going to talk about a little bit how the same questions you asked me. I bet you they're going to give much better answers because they're part of the organization. But we're going to talk about it. It looks like good weather. So I used to go every year, but
Hmm.
unfortunately my dad's memorial service is
Right.
on Saturday, so obviously that's going to take priority.
Yeah, I'm sure they
So
understand, but I'm glad that you're able
I
to,
hope so.
give a preview today. So we'll see you a little bit later, right? It's eight. It's at
Yes,
8:30.
8:30.
Okay, great, super.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Steve. See you later. Okay, a little bit of news this morning. We just want to pass this along. The Starship launch was supposed to be at 8, but it was just delayed to 8:30. So we'll bring you that live if it happens on News 6. That's coming up, but we'll get to more about that in just a moment. First, we want to tell you about the TikTok ban. We talked to Mark about it yesterday morning. A few hours later, the House, in a bipartisan, widely approved vote, did go for this bill. Now it's headed to the Senate, and Ezzy Castro has more on what it'll be up against as that measure moves through the Capitol.
The yeas are 352, the nays are 65.
The battle over a possible TikTok ban in the U.S. now heads to the Senate. House lawmakers passed a bill yesterday that would require the company to separate from its China-based owner ByteDance or be banned from U.S. app stores in 6 months.
This is a common sense measure to protect our national security.
Those opposing the bill complained it threatens the constitutional rights of millions of users.
Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so.
Orlando influencer Ariana Salim telling News 6 she uses the platform to advertise for her cake business and says if this goes through, it could change things financially.
I'm going to be completely honest. Before I put myself out there on TikTok, I definitely was not getting the clientele and the recognition that TikTok provided for me.
So we'll be watching and monitoring what happens with that. Of course, influencers, business owners that have been able to create streams of revenue from platforms like this are just looking for ways to retain that income if TikTok does go away. So they've been looking at getting followers to subscribe to, other platforms like YouTube and Instagram and email listservs and websites and things of that nature. So there's a scramble right now to just protect people who have been able to make a business out of it. But of course, those privacy concerns continue out of Washington when it comes to the ownership of TikTok. So watching that closely, also watching closely again for that launch, the Starship launch today, hoping to be the third time the charm, pushed back to 8:30 now. And this, again, is a key in the future of space exploration. And this powerful rocket ship has been tested a couple times already, and they call it a rapid unplanned disassembly when they've blown up the past couple times. But Mark Lehman has more on those previous attempts and what's happening a little bit later.
The most powerful rocket ever built is preparing for a third test flight from the Texas coast. For SpaceX, it's been a learning process for their 400-foot-tall launch system.
Starship is through the period of greatest stress.
Starship's last flight in November ended with 2 explosions over the Gulf of Mexico. That came 7 months after a similar dramatic ending during its first test flight. SpaceX knew they'd lose the rockets in the testing phase and considers both previous launches successful.
Now they know what the next set of problems are.
For the third test, the goals include a successful ascent of both stages, opening and closing payload doors in flight, a propellant transfer demonstration in space, relighting the Raptor engine for re-entry, and a successful splashdown in the Indian Ocean. This flight could be crucial as Starship is a big part of NASA's future plans.
NASA wants to use the Starship, that's the upper stage of this rocket, to carry astronauts down to the moon in its Artemis program.
So we'll be standing by for that. It's coming up at 8:30. So Crystal and I will be on the set and we'll be watching it with you. So tune in on WKMG and clickorlando.com. We'll see you there. And we're also watching for a Starlink launch tonight. It is busy on the Space Coast. So let's tell you about that one as well. We have the SpaceX trying again to launch its latest round of Starlink internet satellites, and last night's planned liftoff was scrubbed with minutes left in the countdown. Tonight's window opens at 7:04, and if it happens, you can see it live again on WKMG, clickorlando.com, and News 6 Plus. So not stopping anytime soon with all those launches. So if you miss one, there's another one coming right up. In Volusia County, the city of Daytona Beach is beefing up security downtown. They have an initiative right now, a pilot program to bring in extra security officers because business owners out there, residents have seen what they say is an uptick in crime as well as an increase in the presence of homeless people. So they have a 60-day pilot program in place. They're spending thousands of dollars on this to see if it can help. And Molly Reed has more on exactly where and how the program will work.
This downtown area on Beach Street is the center of a major $100 million redevelopment project for the city of Daytona Beach. But now these business owners are telling the city they need it to be a bit safer.
There's got to be a happy medium between helping people and keeping a business alive.
Scott Lawson's restaurant, McKay's Tavern, is right on the main strip of Beach Street businesses.
We've had to call the cops, the police several times to have people removed, to stop bothering the tables.
And Lawson says that's happened a lot more in recent months with the growing homeless population in the city. As a non-emergency call, he says the police don't always get there right in time. The city now answering these business owners' request for more security. Would that help a little bit, you think?
Oh, yes. If we as the merchants have a direct way of being able to contact them directly, and if they show up, usually that's pretty much all you need.
Now this pilot program will start on March 25th. During the 60-day trial run, 2 security guards will be here to help the businesses with whatever they need patrolling the area, and if things get out of hand, they'll have a direct walkie-talkie link to the police.
The First Coast Security Company, they will be coming from Monday to Saturday, and they will start at 6 a.m. until 10 p.m.
Phoebe Fuquay is the project manager for redevelopment with the city. She says the pilot will cost about $25,000, and the city will track the security guards' movements in hotspot locations.
It's all about collecting the data to see, do we need more patrol? How can we strategically target the entire redevelopment area?
In Daytona Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
We'll let you know how that goes out there with that new program. And now to Winter Park. And a little bit of business news here. Popular Winter Park restaurant owned by celebrity chef Guy Fieri may soon be closing its doors. Here's why. According to some court documents, the Chicken Guy restaurant along Orlando Avenue apparently is $38,000 behind in rent right there. And they've been overdue for a while now, and now they're at risk of being evicted. The records are showing that the landlord has issued 2 different notices requiring payment within 3 days. That's 2 times now that's happened. So, of course, we've reached out to the Chicken Guy restaurant for more about this to get some comments about the possible eviction, but we have not heard back yet. So we'll keep you posted as soon as we hear anything about what's happening with Chicken Guy in Winter Park. A cute story now from News 6 Insider and my morning co-anchor Crystal Moyer. With spring break around the corner, you know, you're looking for plenty of things to do. And you know there's something for everyone all around Central Florida. She's taking us out to the Central Florida Zoo to meet some cuties and tell you why this one might be a good one to keep the kids entertained as well as you.
The Central Florida Zoo has extended hours during that time. They're open an extra hour so you can bring your family here and check out some of the new animals they have and some babies they've introduced here.
Like Bisque, running around just days after he was born. The Central Florida Zoo capturing video of the blue diker baby and his mom.
They are the 2nd smallest antelope species in the world.
Bisque was bred here at the zoo as part of the species survival plan, partnering with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums.
They like to hide in the bushes and in the tall grasses, so just have patience, look around, look for any movement in the grasses.
You'll also notice some new reptiles on display. The skink born just a few weeks ago.
What Katie's doing right now, our senior reptile keeper, she is trying to get a weight on him, so that's really important to monitor how he's growing and to make sure that he's eating and getting all the nutrients that he needs.
And this Henkel's leaf-tailed gecko, a new hatchling.
You can see that broad flat tail there, kind of resembles a leaf or almost some of the bark that they would live on. And what's so special about Henkel's leaf-tailed geckos is their incredible camouflage and their mimicry.
Hanging around are some new additions to the zoo, the squirrel monkeys. They're housed with the spider monkeys. They're commonly found in the dense forests of Central and South America, and while they may look small and cute, Torch says they're not meant to be pets, the issue becoming more prominent in the U.S.
Several of these animals were confiscated by wildlife traffickers, bringing them illegally into the United States. And for that to happen, they have to go out into the wild, kill a troop of spider monkeys or squirrel monkeys to get the helpless infants away from mom. And then they try to traffic them across the border, and then the lucky ones survive, and we were able to acquire those animals here.
The zoo is also hosting the event Hippity Hop Adventure ahead of Easter for families with activities, a DJ, bouncy houses, and more.
Dress your best because we've got the Easter Bunny out here so you can get that family photo.
And we're giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to Central Florida Zoo's Hippity Hop Adventures that's taking place on March 30th. You can just head to our website, clickorlando.com/insider to enter for your chance to win. And I posted details on the zoo's extended hours on our website as well. From Sanford, Crystal Moyer, getting results, News 6.
That looks so fun. I want to check that out. Maybe one of those cool days next week during spring break would be nice. Take a comfortable stroll around and look at the animals. It's always good to go early because, you know, when you go later in the afternoon, a lot of times they're all sleepy and you got to look all over the exhibit to see where they might be. Speaking of animals, you already know this. This is one of those studies where you're just like, yeah, duh. Every dog owner knows this, but science is saying, a new study is saying, once again, playing with a dog can be good for your brain. Researchers looked at brain waves of people interacting with dogs, and they found doing things like playing, hugging, walking, and feeding dogs boost brain activity associated with rest and relaxation. The study also found interacting with dogs also helps heighten attention and concentration. And, you know, for me, I don't have a dog at home right now. I used to have a dog at home. When my stepson was living with us, he had a German Shepherd, and he lives in Georgia now. We miss him. But we've had therapy dogs come through the newsroom. I've had therapy dogs at some of my appointments out and about, and it's always such a treat, such a comfort. And, you know, we've seen the studies where it's good for seniors as well to have a pet just because, you know, a lot of times they're living alone. So, I mean, it's a win-win. Now, we want to get to a contest that we've been telling you about. This is the Insider Swag Bag Contest, and you still have some time to enter. We're giving away 7 swag bags packed with all these goodies right here. It's the only way you can get it is to come out to our events or to enter contests like this. But usually when you come out to an event, you're only going to get maybe one thing. And sometimes it's like you have to spin a wheel or you know, maybe you have to take what's left because a lot of times, like, the more popular things are already gone. So enter to win this. 7 people are going to win a bag packed with all kinds of goodies. And, you know, you can give some to your friends. And it is, let's see, a coffee mug, umbrella, fanny pack, and more. I know my daughter wants the fanny pack. I need to see if they have extras, but you can enter every day, and it is free to become an insider where you get access to exclusive content on our website at clickorlando.com/insider. So go ahead and sign up. It's free. Then you can always enter these contests. Sometimes we're giving away concert tickets. Sometimes we're giving away passes to theme parks for the whole family. So just get on there. Why not? And WKMG is hitting the road again. You know, we just wrapped up out at Rio Pinar Golf Club, and next month, actually in just a couple weeks, we're headed out to Sanford to 32771. We want to know, what do you love about that area? What do you think are some challenges? What are some stories that need to be told? We want to hear from you. Go to clickorlando.com/itstheroad. We will have, once again, a variety of stories about 32771 and the people there and the businesses and places that you love there. We want to hear from you, so let us know so that we can get it into the rundown when we go live out there in 32771 with a whole several hours dedicated to coverage. News 6 is going to hit the road and go to 32771. So let us know. We want to hear from you. That's going to do it for us. We will be back at 8:30 on News 6 with that launch, hopefully, of the Starship. Hoping, you know, fingers, toes crossed for third time's the charm. But if not, it will be another chance to get, you know, closer to success if this doesn't work today. But at least it's a chance to see what they can improve upon. So we will be live at 8:30, and if it gets delayed, we'll let you know that as well. But for now, I'm going to let you go. And Weather-wise with Jonathan Kegas is coming up straight up right here at 8 o'clock. And then Trooper Steve is on the road taking you there to the Hot Rods for Heroes at 8:30. So we'll see you back here for Breakfast with Bridgett tomorrow at 7:30. I'll be off for spring break, but you'll be in good hands. So take care. Have a great day.